Anyways, I'm at a gas station, and this guy pulls on with bright lights on, leaves his bright lights on like he's a super important. I mean, he's got more lights on there than he needs. Plus, he's got extra driving lights, and he's in a gas station, and he's not even smart enough to turn his lights down. Like, really? You're in a gas station. Why do you need all your lights on? My headlights on, because I'm in the spot. I moved over so other people get to the pumps. And this guy's just sitting there with all his lights on, like a yahoo. Because I guess that's what people do nowadays. They don't turn their lights off at a gas pump. When he's got all them lights and there's not really any reason to have them on. Like a derelict. Oh, that's one of them guys that thinks he's important. Like, Jesus, he's been there for 10 minutes. So that's how it started, and I was just wanted to get the camera going, so I was going to show the weather on the way, and see if the video's cool jumpy, because usually it's jumpy. So this yahoo and bright lights in front of me, divert attention. I didn't even look like he got gas, because I guess that's what people do, but he might have just finished. So that's how it goes. Oh, goodness. I don't care what they say. It's I just gotta work. I want to get gas because I don't like to get under quarter tank. Sometimes half when it's weather's bad, because you never know with traffic. If you get out in the country and you're on the way to work and you get stuck or something, who the heck wants to be stuck without gas? I know I don't. So I was down to well under quarter, or at least right around quarter, so I figured it was time to fill up. Then we get this wintry blast where it's rained all day yesterday, windy. So some places, if they're not treated, it's actually ice under the snow, which it doesn't seem that bad today, but it's been windy and snowing, and the snow is actually worse. But it's cold outside. It's 26 degrees, and the wind chill is pretty bad because of the wind. I mean, you're out there 5 minutes, you start feeling it, really. So, at least if you're in the wind area. Now, maybe if you're behind shelter or something, you're not going to notice it, but yeah, it's chilly and windy. 26 degrees of wind chill, so whatever that makes it. It feels like minus 10 to 15, if you ask me, with the wind chill. It feels, at least in parts, maybe it's only makes it 0. But I got a slow drive home, so I'm just going to record part of the way. Usually the video's jumpy, and they said that whatever they thought it was would fix it, and I don't think it did. So I think it's the phone service and these LG Fortune phones with the quasi good to bad camera. So that's what we're stuck with in life. Excuse me. Of course, I stopped. I had to get a snack since I was getting gas. Because if you get gas at the pump, it locks your card up. Or if you go inside, especially Pilot, most gas stations will lock your card up for $75 for 3 to 10 days, or at least 3 to 7 days. But if you go inside and prepay, and then you tell them you want to fill up, what it does is it'll cut it off. So treat you. Like, so say I tell them I want 20 or 25 and I only put 15 in, it won't bill me for the extra amount, at least at Pilot. Other stations might. So then when I go out to my car, it's only billed my car for the little bit of food I bought and the gas. And it doesn't put that $75 hold on your car, especially when your cars only take $20 or $25 in gas. Now, some of the ones that take 75, like on the big pickup trucks or big diesel trucks or big other trucks, yada, 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 I can understand that. But when it's a car, it should only mimic. I'm stuck into Snow Hill here. It should only hold like $25, $30. It shouldn't hold 75. This truck is booking up the hill. I'm not pulling out in front of him. It's a small truck, but he's bigger than I am, and he's moving it. Oh, Carter Lumbers. Finally, chance to get out in the snow traffic and see if we can make the turn before that truck does. Looks like he's waiting. Well, I'm already committed to the intersection. Sorry, buddy. I was already accelerating and I would have slid, so. Plus, it's hard to take off from a stop like that. It's just a little bit of uphill. They got a little too steep. It should be a little bit leveler. Hey, what do we know? So, I can't tell. The video looks smoother, but it's still a little jumpy. So, I didn't really make any snow videos this year. I made 2 small snow videos, but not really while I was driving. So, I might have made the one through the other service, Facebook as they call it. So I wanted to see how this was actually recording live. They're both jumpy, and for some reason I can't live stream. I usually just record and upload it later, but sometimes that's really laborious. Especially if you do all the other stuff that they want you to do with the editing, titling. So this is the snow drive home. State routes probably are pretty good. The freeway looked like it was moving pretty good. Looks like we're down to bare pavement. We're down to bare pavement. Yeah, we're down to bare pavement. And it doesn't seem too slippery. But still, it's a low wind chill. I'm still driving a little slower. That guy up there's... He's not really going that fast. He's not pulling away from me. And here we're getting snow covered. So with the wind covering the tracks. And then you had that little bit that's clear with the wind chill. It's slushy in spots and slippery in others. And the bare track marks are going away. That wind, oh my goodness. Like the gust of wind, I knew it was windy yesterday all day, but we're still getting gust of wind. Like literally the car moved. Like, I don't know if for sure it was like a half a foot. Now he's pulling away from me because I slowed down when the gust of wind hit. I was well, sometimes when you're by these open fields here under the trees are cut different. The gust of wind literally jarred the car. And if it was a sheet of ice here, it probably would have pushed me 2 feet over because when you're not as heavy as a semi, that stuff will slide you on ice. And even semis have slid from heavy winds, especially on ice. So luckily it's not ice, but it's still winter time. So the side that side of the road's actually a lot cleaner. So they've been on it and treated. I just seen them go through, but they haven't been this way for a little while. So I don't know how far their stretches highway is that they hit before they turn around and come back. I know sometimes it'd be nice if they could get out sooner before the traffic hits it, hit both sides. At least if it would. Some of them do fling that stuff on both sides of the road, which is kind of nice because they don't spread a lot of it out. Not like when they used to salt and cinder in the old days. They'd put that stuff on a lot. Now, don't get me wrong, that stuff works pretty good on the state highways. State highways are usually pretty good once they've got them plowed and treated. But that stuff's different, obviously, than salt. I don't know if it's the calcium mixed stuff or something even better, because it's better than the stuff they even had so many years ago. The last 4 or 5 years have been really tremendously good roads once they get it covered and treated, even when it's cold. So I figure it's the calcium chloride mix or whatever calcium kind of mix they use along with anything better. I know this one place they had like a water leak in the freezer, big freezer, and they used some of the mix, and it actually kept the floor wet in there, like literally wet in there, and -10, or maybe it was a little colder, I don't know. But anyways, it literally, and it was like, so it might not be the exact same stuff, but it was a derivative. It's just weird to see, but it works nice on these highways, so that's all. And then here they've already retreated this, and it's nice that blowing snow's not affecting it. We're on the line where Usually 90, a lot of people, I know most people around here know it. 90 is like the divider ridge. Usually south of 90 is worse than north of 90, but it depends on the season. It depends on the storm that come across. If it come from Cleveland or Erie or beyond, obviously, or Canada, I mean, when we get dumped on by Canadian weather, usually we're getting hit from Lake Erie to 90. And if not beyond and all the way to Youngstown or beyond, I mean, Northeast Ohio is Northeast Ohio, this quarter of the state. And at that point, if we got 2 foot of snow and they got 2.5, or vice versa, it's all pretty bad. But usually, if we get it light up here, they get it worse south of 90. Then, depending, like I said, especially if it is a Canadian one, once the lake freezes across. But I don't think the lake froze across. I don't know. It's been cold enough too, like the last few weeks. But I thought the middle was still open because it hadn't been that cold most of this winter. And as warm as it is up here, I mean, the calcium working better here because the main part of that snowstorm, I mean, it's snowing here, but it's worse up there and it's windier. So I'd say the wind is definitely worse from 84 to 90 because it's not as gusty here. So that storm's at the higher elevation. It's a little harder to see here because the snow is thicker, which is kind of funny because the wind usually makes it rough, but it's like a gusty wind that pushes the snow so fast you can't really see the snow. This one's more like the light, heavy snow. It looks like fog. And there's a train. Yeah, it looks like a train. See them extra lights. I gotta turn the heat up. Long story short, I don't know how well you can see the fog, but I mean, you should be able to see those trees just like the trees on the left. And all you see is white background. So that's not a painting. That is a painted snow sky with real snow. Now you can see the trees you should have saw a few minutes ago. And just getting to the crossing of the train. Slow down, cars stopping. Luckily, it's dry pavement. If that was ice, that could have been a boo-boo. Now, this is a double track, and sometimes these trains are knowing to buzz through, and the gates usually work. But just for safety, I usually crack my windows and listen for a train, at least a train whistle, because this kind of weather you won't necessarily hear a train, but if they're ringing their bell or hitting that whistle, you'll hear it. There's so much traffic you wouldn't have a chance to pull off anyways, but sometimes you might have a chance if you hear the whistle before you get on the track. So cracking the windows, it's pretty cold in here. I mean, down here it's actually saying 25, which usually it's the other way around. Usually it's been warmer down here, but now the temperature's actually dropped to 25. So we're down a degree in heavy snow. Well, when I say heavy visual snow, because it's coming down fluff. I guess it's a little wet. We're definitely, the road is less treated here. I don't think they made an extra pass or two because looking at that stuff. So I want to say it's a little bit more slushy and slippery. The cars in front of me are going slower now, and the guy behind me, he's back far enough, but it'd be nicer if he was a little bit farther away. I mean, if he wants to pass, he either needs to get out of bed, whip over near the lane and punch it, which usually that don't work well for some people, especially with that truck coming. And this road, oh my goodness. This road used to be all hills. Oh, it's terrible. I think it was in the 80s, they went and flattened it. Help the amount of trucks that come from 90 this way up to 20, and more for commercial stuff. And it needed it. I mean, it seemed like 15, 20 hills, and the road was narrow, and it literally was 35, but it probably should have been slower than that. And it was hard for people to pull it on their driveways. A lot of the houses looked lower because they had to boost the road up on the hills. It took them a whole year to fix the whole section of road or more. It seemed like forever. Originally, they were supposed to make it 4 lanes, but what they ended up doing is here's still 2 lanes down at the other end, It looked like they made it so it could be 4 lanes someday, but it's only 3 lanes wide. But it's actually only lined for 2 lanes of traffic. So it's wide enough you can squeeze a 3rd lane in there, but they never did it. I think because it gets a little too tricky and the volume of traffic doesn't justify it. That's the only thing I can figure, because some people don't know how to drive 3 lanes and use the middle as a turn lane like they should. It would be nice if they had a turn lane because it would keep traffic flowing, but I don't know, they must have done studies and I don't know, people get messed up when there's a 3rd lane. Apparently. Oh, good. That car dropped off. Looked like he turned. Must have went to her house. I'm not going to record too much longer. Just wanted to get a video documentation of snow. Plus, my battery was medium %, so I figured I'll drain my battery a little before I charge it. I wish these cell phone batteries lasted a lot longer. My goodness. I know they've been making them a while and technology's better, but they should be even better without charging you tons and tons of money. I'm sure they have better cells and stuff like that. Sometimes overcharging they say hurt them, other people say it doesn't. Some people say, I don't know. It used to be you had to let the battery go dead before you charge it. Now they say don't let it go all the way dead. Some people say don't let it get under 15, 20%. Mine's been down to 5 or 10%. I don't know. I just try and drain it down at least to 15% before I charge it when I can. But sometimes you know you're going to catch some sleep and you don't want your cell phone to be dead. So you think it'd be smart enough to, like the old days, they used to decharge batteries before they charge them, but apparently you don't have to do that nowadays. So I guess it would be nice to know the actual factual truth about what you do with the batteries. But I guess it doesn't matter either way. After a year or two, I guess you should buy a phone or get a new battery. Get a new phone with better batteries. Whatever the heck I'm saying. Yeah, you see that fog off in the distance? That's snow. No fog. Snow fog. It's all good. I suppose it affects the people that's waiting for buses and public transportation more when you got to drive long distances. And your tires, if you got the better tires, it does help when it's snow versus ice, obviously. I can't tell, there's a car way off the side there. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, they're turning, that's why they were there. Not that one, the one was on the other peak over there. I don't know if you can see it. First I thought they were stuck on the side of the road, but they were going so slow to make a safe turn. This here's not too bad in little hills here, knock on wood. I try and slow down before I get on the hill so I don't have to technically brake on the hill. Because like they say, your power's in the gas. You don't want to be braking going downhill. You don't want to be braking going uphill. So usually if you start letting up on the gas and you start sliding, just push the gas really slightly and it'll usually straighten you out. But now your ice is a different story. Ice, you got to know how to drive ice. And not too many people do in the world. Maybe the ice road truckers, yes, but maybe some of the people that travel a lot, yes. But in general, there's no safe ice, especially if you get a little water on it. One time I was coming back from Menor and it literally was an ice storm. Within 45 minutes, there was like several inches of ice on the freeway and everywhere. No way for them to treat it. Like literally, I drove from Menor to Ashtabula about literally 10 miles an hour. Literally. Then there was a traffic jam and something happened. I still don't know what. Obviously, it was probably cars off the road. And there was an extra hour waiting for that to clear. The rest of us was doing about 10 miles an hour up to at least Geneva. And then it was a little clearer. And you could go maybe 15 to 20 after the hour wait for the traffic to clear. I'd have been better off exiting and taking some of the side roads once they got that close, but they were icy too. But least it wasn't jammed up. All right.